So before we head out, I gotta show you guys one more thing. This is called the shutter speed. This has to do with the speed that the mirror in the camera is going up and down. So I'm gonna go into the technical side of that in a little bit, but just know that the shutter makes a noise. I'm gonna demonstrate that right now. So you hear that noise right there? That's the noise of the shutter going up and down really quickly. Now, why is the shutter going up and down? Well, to understand that, you got to understand how the camera's working. So in this camera, there's actually a mirror, and the mirror is blocking the sensor. And by allowing that mirror to block the sensor, there's no information that's touching the sensor. So there's no image. But what happens is that the mirror actually goes up and down, and within the amount of time that it goes up and down, there's light that hits the sensor. And within that short period of time, or that long period of time, depending on how fast the shutter is, there's an image that gets exposed. So let's say, for example, you're shooting at 1/100th of a second, right? And you get a properly exposed image. What do you think will happen if you change that 1/100th to 1/1000th, which is much, much faster? If you guess you get a darker image, you're right. The reason why you're going to get a darker image is because you're getting less light, right? If you go, let's say, for example, you cover your eyes and you go like this really slowly, you see a lot, right? If you do it really slow, you don't see as much. It's the same thing with this. As the faster that you go, the less light gets captured to the sensor. Now, there is a trade-off with that. Because the sensor is slower, if the sensor is slower, it's going to capture all the information during that time period that it's open, which means, let's say, for example, you're doing action sports and somebody's moving really fast, or you have somebody twirling around a fire or something like that. Well, because it's twirling so fast and because they're running so fast, if you're not using a very fast shutter speed, you're going to catch a blur of them. It's not going to be sharp. If you speed up the shutter speed, you'll be able to capture a more crisp image. And so that's one of the things that we're going to talk about as well when we get outside. And the best part about this is that we're going to use all three of these things in order to capture different types of images. This is where photography really, really gets fun, because then you get to add your creative element to every single photo you take. By using all three of these things, you're going to be unstoppable. So let's go ahead and get into it.